Today, I've got two cash flowing duplexes in the Cleveland, Ohio market. That's the topic of today's show. Let's dive in. Hey, real estate investors, welcome to another episode of the Investment Properties for Sale show on HoltonWise TV. As always, I am your host, James Wise, and behind the scenes, I got my main man, Tommy, capturing everything for you guys. Today's show is going to be an action-packed show, guys. I actually have not one, but two multifamily properties for you guys. So I just want to dive right into it. Let's get into the first property. This one is actually one that was a personal holding of myself and my business partner, John Holton. So this is an in-house sale. 3900 Behrwald Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44109. This is a duplex that we have priced at $74,900. As you'll see from the footage, this is in the old Brooklyn neighborhood. You could probably see a ton of just, duplexes all around. Old Brooklyn is probably one of our favorite places to invest. It's a solid C-class, blue-collar neighborhood. I would say of all the neighborhoods in the Cleveland market, we have the biggest density, the most dense, population of our rental properties of our portfolio is in Old Brooklyn. We don't have any other neighborhoods in the Cleveland market that we are as infiltrated in as we are the Old Brooklyn neighborhood. And the reason being, the location, it's great. It's a nice central location. It's on the west side, close to downtown, close to the suburbs, close to the highways, close to the HoltonWise office. We know it well. Prices are low, rents are high, and the tenant base is pretty decent. Now, going inside to this one, I'm taking you guys into the upstairs unit. Now, we got to do a little bit of work, okay? We had a long-term tenant that recently moved out of this one, okay? As you'll see, right? Those floors are looking a little beat up. We do have one neutral color throughout, but, we have to do some repainting. We have to do some touching up to get this thing rent ready. Once we do all of that, we will be able to get you guys $750 a month. It's a very large unit. Going upstairs, the third floor, it is actually finished, right? That's why we get a nice increase in the rent. As you'll see, all over here, we got a bunch of holes and stuff in the walls, so we got to fix all of that. What I've put up on the screen for you now is the line-by-line bid it's going to take to actually get this thing totally rent-ready so you can get that $750. And I'm going to give you two numbers here, all right? Now, what you see the bid, and we have the option. You could spend $5,719, and that's going to get this thing rent-ready to our minimum rental standards. And one thing I want to draw your attention to, it's actually not $5,719 on the interior. On that bid, we've also included some exterior work on the garage that just has to get done. The total cost for that, you'll see it on the screen, it's $3,180. And we actually have a little bit of stuff here. A little bit under that, you'll see a few line items for the basement. These are just things that need to happen to this property to keep it habitable, to keep it running in good condition. So don't think it's $5,719 just on the inside, because you might be looking at like, oh man, the interior of this unit doesn't look that bad. How the hell is it $5,719? So it's actually only a few grand. We're in the $3,000 range because it has been a hardened unit. So you spend about $3,000 inside, and then another $3,000 on needed things you need to do outside to keep the building, keep the condition up, take care of that maintenance there. You'll be able to get that $750. But in addition to that, we've also included optional premium upgrades. If you choose to go above and beyond and go with all the optional premium upgrades on this, you could spend $10,694. The rent, $750, that's on the low end. If we do all the premium upgrades, we might be able to, punch you up $775, $785, $790. But the reason you'd want to spend the money on those premium upgrades, if you opted to do that, it would not necessarily be to get an extra $25, $35, $45 a month. I know a lot of you investors out there, you're looking at stuff like that, and you're so focused on those like 25, 35, 45 additional dollars per month on your spreadsheet. That is not actually what you should be focused on. That seems cool, that seems important, but you don't really want to spend the additional $4,500 or so to obtain that small amount of additional cash flow. The reason you would want to spend that money is it's going to keep your empty vacant time super low, right? If the property looks beautiful, it's amazing, we're going to rent it like that. So you can, probably achieve a new tenant. We do the premium upgrades with that neighborhood, the demand in that neighborhood. We'll probably rent that thing out in less than a week. That's number one. Number two, the tenants that do move into that, they are far less likely to move out. You're going to see a lot longer tenancy. Once you put folks into the units, if you have some of the nicest units in the neighborhood, right, they have no real reason to move out, right? You want to wow them and get them to want to stay. So the real reason you spend that extra money to get the premium upgrades, to make it super nice, is to reduce vacancy, to reduce turnover. That's the real prize. The extra 25, 35, 40 bucks a month, that is pennies. Don't focus on pennies, focus on the dollars, because turnovers are the biggest return killer in this business. Last thing I want to show you guys, I want to take you guys down to the basement, take a look at the mechanicals, all right? Those furnaces are roughly 15 or so years old, so we're about halfway through the life expectancy, so you shouldn't need to replace those furnaces for another 10, 15 years. Just so you guys know, when you do, the cost in that's going to be about $3,000 per furnace. So when you're running your numbers at home, you're thinking of your capital expenditure budget. Just remember, you got about 10, 15 years, and you got $6,000 worth of furnaces coming up. Life expectancy on furnaces, if you haven't noticed, with the 15 plus the 15, it's 30 years, guys. And that's pretty standard. It doesn't matter if it's Ohio, Detroit, Indianapolis, whatever. Furnaces are going to last you about 30 years. Those hot water tanks, those are only 5 years old, so those are in the first trimester, so to speak, of their life expectancy, because hot water tanks are going to last you about 15 years. Each of those only about 5 years old. We've put those ones in, so you got at least a decade out of those bad boys. The electric panel's totally updated. Taking you guys outside again. I know you saw the drone footage of the roof earlier, but I want to show it to you again. I just want to mention that roof. It's only about halfway through its useful life, so you got a lot of room in that roof. You don't have to worry about that for another 15 years. Total cost on that roof, if you replaced it, you're looking at probably $6,000 or so. So you spend $75,000, $74,900 to acquire the asset. Then you spend another $5,000, maybe $6,000. What was the total number? $5,719. You spend that, and it's totally rent ready. You could put a tenant in there at $750, and we took care of some maintenance on the outside. Or if you'd like, you spend another $4,500 or so, and you'll have one of the most pristine units. So between $80,000 and $85,000 is your total investment on this, and you'll be bringing in $1,360. You can't get cash flow like that anywhere else in the USA, guys. This is some quality cash flow. Now what I want to do, I want to quickly go to a quick commercial break here, get a word from the show's sponsors, and then we are going to get into the second duplex that I've got for you guys. Very similar, but a few slight differences.
Property management is a lot more than just placing tenants and collecting rent. Who you work with can be as or even more important than the properties themselves. With over 60 years of cumulative experience, the principles of EverGrow Property Management have one of the most tried and tested property management businesses in the Indianapolis, Indiana market. Armed with the latest technology and a full range of property management services, including property evaluations, tenant screening, rent collection, maintenance, legal compliance, and eviction services. EverGrow Property Management is the top property management choice of rental property owners, turnkey providers, and real estate agents in the Indianapolis, Indiana market. Visit evergrowpm.com for more information. HoltonWise has a worldwide audience of real estate investors. If you are a lender, home inspector, or anyone else with a real estate related business who would like to increase your sales and exposure with an ad in one of our videos, go to HoltonWise.com today.
Hey investors, welcome back. Now, before I dive right into the numbers on the second duplex, there's something I want to quickly draw your attention to on the screen there. Okay, this is something I want to show you guys. This is a newer product we have. You go to HoltonWise.com, right? Go to the Property Search for Sale tab. Now, what you're watching, the Investment Properties for Sale show, right? All of you who are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you see when the show comes out. In addition to that, we email this show out every single day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are not actually subscribed to that mailing list, you're actually just subscribed to HoltonWise TV on YouTube. You want to make sure you get on that mailing list. So we'll have a link for you to do that in the show notes below. But that's how you guys are used to buying properties from HoltonWise, right? I am the #1 seller of rental properties in the Cleveland market. But what a lot of you guys are noticing and what a lot of you guys are running into, we have an incredibly high demand, right? You know, we're the #1 seller. If you look at the view counter, these shows, they get a lot of traction, and you got to move really quick. Like that first property, 3900 Behrwald, I fully anticipate to have like 10, 15, maybe even 20 offers on that property by the time this show airs. And the property we're going to get into next, it's another duplex. It's actually going to bring in even more rent than Behrwald, and I've priced it the exact same. So that one's probably going to have close to 20 offers on it, right? So if you're doing the math at home, you're like, oh man, if he gets 20 offers on this, that's 19 of us who can't actually buy the property. So in addition to the Investment Properties for Sale show, we have something that's called the MLS Search and Analysis show, right? What that is, guys, is there is 5,000 other realtors in the Cleveland market. They are all selling properties too, but I'm sure if investors like you guys, if you guys have tried to reach out to them, you'll notice that they don't really talk the investor talk, speak the investor speak, right? They're not typically, your typical realtor is focused on taking, husband, wife, 2.5 kids, dog, white picket fence, suburban living, driving folks around in their cars. That's how they're used to selling investments. So you might, contact them about a duplex or something, and they want to tell you it's nice, it's spacious, tell you about the paint color. Like, you don't give a fuck about that, right? You want to know, how much money is this thing going to make me? How much money do I have to spend to put a tenant in there? When I get a tenant in there, what's going to be the market rent that that tenant, I should expect that tenant to pay me? How often am I going to need to do evictions? Yada, yada, right? Stuff that investors need to know, right? We don't consider these places to live. For us, guys, these are investment vehicles. These are businesses. So if you're finding you're getting outbid on my properties on the Investment Properties for Sale show, and you're seeing a bunch of other stuff out there on the MLS, or you want access to that, these other 5,000 realtors, right? Every once in a while, that nice suburban family that they're used to selling their personal homes, they randomly inherit or acquire 1 or 2 duplexes every now and again, and those realtors get those listings. So there's other opportunities out there, and I want you guys to still get our expertise on those. So you could purchase any one of our sales and analysis products, whether you found something and you want my take on it in a completely unbiased way, or you just want to give me your investment criteria, I will go out and I will find that for you. But before you spend the, $500, $600, $700, $800 on a personalized show, what I think you need to do is scroll down even lower. By the way, if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, because these things are some of the most educational content we put out, click that right there and you'll see some of the previous shows. But going down here, these are the real-time MLS feeds, guys. For those of you who are not familiar, you want to Google, or in the show notes, I'll put a link to it, The Ultimate Guide to Grading Cleveland Neighborhoods. I've graded all these neighborhoods on an A to F scale. A is the least amount of risk. F is the most amount of risk. So check that out. You can understand what I mean when I say an A-class neighborhood, B-class neighborhood, C-class neighborhood. So I've graded all these neighborhoods on an A to F scale, and for every investor, you all have a different risk tolerance. You all have different goals, right? Like you might be watching this and you're like, man, I want to buy B-class single-family homes. Or you might be watching this and you're like, I want to buy D-class multifamily homes because I want to try to obtain the highest cash flow, and I'm down with Section 8. I'm down with the risk. I've been doing this a long time. Every single investor's got a different risk tolerance. So what I have done is I have broken out these MLS feeds into all 5 grades, A, B, C, D, and F. And then I have broken them out into single family, single family homes, 2 to 4 units, which is also going to qualify for residential financing. That is the most amount of rental income checks you can get and still get that 30-year residential financing. And then lastly, apartment buildings, guys, 5 units and up. It does qualify for commercial financing, so you can no longer get those 30-year residential terms that you can get on anything in the 1 to 4 units. So based on the type of property you want and the level of risk you're willing to take, you want to purchase those, match yourself with the right level of risk and the right type of asset. And what that's going to do for you is that's going to send you my direct MLS access. The moment that I, as a broker, find out about a property being put on the market, you're going to get that access. So everybody else that's out there on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all kinds of these other random sites that aggregate the data from brokers who have direct MLS access, okay, all of those aggregation sites, they are slower. It takes time for those to update. So those folks might be seeing those properties 2, 3, 4, even a week, 2, 3, 4 days, even a week after the property actually hit the market. With my direct MLS feed, the moment a property goes on the market, the moment there's a price reduction, you are going to get that access. You're going to get an email automatically from me. On top of that, I've already filtered through them and broke them down, so you don't have to worry about spending $500, $600, $700 on an analysis product only to find out that it was actually in an F-class neighborhood when you really only want to target C-class neighborhoods. So that is a great product. Now, enough of that. As promised, we're going to get into the numbers on the second property, and that is 2704 Natchez Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44109. I have also priced this duplex at $74,900. Now, both of these units are totally vacant. Let's cruise on in. Now, the downstairs, it's in pretty decent shape. We definitely need to do some cleanup here. We need to get this thing looking spick and span, clean this up, some fresh paint, things of that nature. But nothing major needs to happen. Now, when we go upstairs, you can see that the upstairs, it's a little bit rougher, right? Like, look at the kitchen here. Obviously, somebody fucked this thing all up. So we got to address that. All told, this should cost roughly $10,000 to get rent ready, right? The downstairs unit's going to be a little bit cheaper. The upstairs unit is going to be a little bit more of that $10,000 ballpark. But we spend approximately $10,000. Okay, so you buy this thing for $74,900. You spend $10,000. You're all into the asset for $85,000. Sound familiar? Same numbers we were talking about with 3900 Behrwald at the beginning of the show. The only difference is with this, both of these units have 2 beds, right? So we don't have a 3-bedroom unit bringing us in about $750, but these are both spacious 2 bedrooms. So we should be looking at $7.25 for each of these. So that's going to be a total rental income every single month of $1,450 a month for an all-in budget of $85,000, guys. That's great. You want to go ahead and use that traditional 30-year financing. Yes, the property does need a little bit of repairs, but it's not something that you have to pay cash for. I don't think you should pay cash. Let's stretch those funds. Just put down 25% of that $75,000. And then, of course, you'll have to come out of pocket $10,000 for those repairs. But then, man, baby, $1,450 a month, guys. That's insane cash flow. So just like 3900 Behrwald, I expect close to 20 offers on this property. Quickly, though, I just want to show you guys the mechanicals, too, while we're down there. right? You'll see the furnace. We got one furnace, pretty new, 9 years. The other one, 18 years old. So that one's got about 10, 12 years of life. The other one's got over 20. Remember, $3,000 is going to be the approximate cost to replace those furnaces. Checking out the hot water tanks. One of those is newer. Remember, they last about 15 years on average. That is important, on average, because the other hot water tank is over 30 years old. That is information we received directly from the owner. That is just an old-ass hot water tank. So when I say they're going to last you approximately 15 years, that does not mean every single tank just explodes 15 years in. Sometimes you do get a little bit longer. Sometimes you get more than double that life expectancy. But I can't stand here on my show and tell you guys, yeah, your hot water tanks are always going to last 30 years. You only need to worry about spending $1,000 replacing those every 30 years. That would not be truthful. And if I haven't already demonstrated it, take a look at more of our content here on HoltonWise TV, and you'll see that the most important thing to us as a company is giving you guys a completely transparent look at the real estate investing industry. A lot of other folks out there trying to sell real estate, trying to sell people on investing, they try to tell everyone that it's all girls in bikinis, boats, fancy cars, easy money. Look, real estate's going to make you guys a lot of money. It has made me a hell of a lot of money. It's totally changed my life. But that doesn't mean it's like a super easy business or anything like that. There are going to be pitfalls. There are going to be problems. And we like to demonstrate all of that for you guys. If you still don't believe me, check out our Tenants from Hell show. That is probably our most popular show. That is some of the most viral content you'll see. On that show, we show you the worst of the worst, man. We show you live eviction footage. We show you people setting stuff on fire. We show you people crashing their cars into our buildings. Just some of the wildest stuff. If you're into poop, you want to check out the Tenants from Hell show, because the Tenants from Hell show has a lot of poop in it. Just some of the craziest shit. I just think it's super important that you guys know that that stuff is going to happen. And if you can stomach all of that and you're still down to invest in real estate, you can make yourself a lot of money. I just would never want somebody thinking it's going to be the super low-key, easy thing, and then they get blindsided by all that. Because I don't need to sell you guys on investing in real estate. There's no industry in the United States of America that has made more self-made millionaires than investing in real estate. So I think it's fairly obvious that the business of owning real estate has got legs. I just want you guys to know what you're in for. So with that, that's all I've got for you guys today. If you want to buy one or both of these duplexes, what I need you to do, send me an email, jameswise@holtonwise.com. Tom's going to put my email address on the bottom of the screen somewhere. When you send me an offer, I mentioned this several times during this show, we usually get, 10, 15, 20 offers on each of these properties the day the show goes out. So when you send me an offer, you need to be ready to rock and roll. You need to have your ducks in a row. I need you to have your proof of funds or your pre-approval letters ready. So proof of funds if you're paying cash. If you want to use traditional financing, which I absolutely think you should on both of these, that's one of the best reasons to invest in real estate. Have your pre-approval letter from your lender ready. If you don't have a lender, shoot me an email. Tom should still have my email address on the bottom of the screen there. I'll get you my list of lenders. They can get you pre-approved. You may not be fast enough to take these two down, but that's okay. There's going to be another property tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after. So remember, make sure you're subscribed not only to here on YouTube, but also to our email list so you actually get this show every single day at 1 p.m. So, if you don't have a lender yet, I'll give you my list. And then when tomorrow's show or the show after that launches, you're now ready to go ahead and jump on that deal. You can send me that email with your pre-approval, and you're ready to rock. That's it, guys. This has been another episode of the Investment Properties for Sale show. If this is the very first time you've ever watched our content here on HoltonWise TV, do yourself a favor and smash that subscribe button. As always, I'm James Wise with HoltonWise, and this is Real Estate Investing Made Easy.
RentecDirect provides you with an easy-to-use yet robust platform for managing your properties, complete with its built-in reporting and accounting system that can be customized to fit your business. For property managers, you get advanced features like simplified owner distributions, automated management and placement fees, an owner portal, plus the software is certified for trust accounting. All this comes backed by the highest-rated customer support team in the industry, certified by third parties and ranked #1 by our clients year over year. You get unlimited free access to our US-based support team by phone, email, and chat, who will help you getting started or anywhere along the way.
Cleveland, Ohio is widely considered to be one of the top rental markets in the entire United States. This is because here in Cleveland, our housing prices are low and our rental prices and demand are high. At HoltonWise, we provide the complete turnkey solution for all real estate investors, whether they are local, out of state, or even abroad. As real estate brokers, we will provide you with agent representation to help you buy properties ranging from single-family homes to large apartment complexes. We even have referrals for lenders who can provide investment property loans to investors located in all 50 states, allowing you to capitalize on the use of leverage or other people's money. We have referrals to top-notch title companies so you know that all of your transactions are safe and secure, with every single property being delivered to you with clear title. Once you close on the property, we have an investor-focused insurance brokerage who can handle all your property insurance needs. This insurance brokerage handles auto, home, life, and business policies, but they specialize in working with policies for landlords. We also have full-service property management. We can handle all rental property advertisements, tenant placement, rent collection, evictions, maintenance, landscaping, construction, and repairs. In addition, HoltonWise also offers digital media and education. One day, when you are ready to sell your investment, HoltonWise, as the #1 seller of investment properties in the greater Cleveland area, can market your property in a video just like this one to our worldwide base of investors who are looking to capitalize on the high cash flow opportunities in the Cleveland, Ohio market.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our latest content, including video tours and analysis of investment properties that are available for sale, real estate investment education, and our most interesting encounters with tenants from hell. HoltonWise, real estate investing made easy.